Hello, I'm Ken. I'm one half of the Floating Disc Games team, and I'm here to welcome you officially to our first devlog. As you can see, production values are not high, but we wanted to document our experience from its earliest possible steps in the interests of building a community, soliciting feedback, and hopefully providing some insights, both technical and otherwise, to anyone interested in starting a similar project in the future. My co-founder and I were both really inspired by the sort of meticulous openness that the Disco Elysium team had with their devlogs, and we're interested in emulating that. So yeah, my artistically inclined co-founder Max and I are building a game called Shades of Haven. It's an isometric cRPG in the style of Baldur's Gate, Pillars of Eternity, and last but not least, Disco Elysium. We'll do a few more videos discussing some of our narrative influences and stylistic ideas, but we thought we would do an initial set of videos just showing off some of the systems that we've built thus far. So, welcome, and without further ado, let's take a look. Now, we're only a couple of months into the project, so most of the work that we've done thus far has been foundational. Building early systems for dialogue, dice rolls, and inventory, creating the skeleton of game state management, settling on asset pipelines, and getting our rendering strategy sorted, and building automations for exports and imports. We started with finding a solution for dialogue, since that'll be the game's focal mechanic. We knew whichever solution we settled on needed to be extensible and templatable, easy to introduce custom functions to like camera cues, skill checks, and animations, and capable of being written and drafted outside of Unity. We initially experimented with building our own systems and widgets from scratch, and though we made some decent progress, we ended up feeling like we were reinventing the wheel. So in the end, we took a page from the devlogs of Disco Elysium and chose to abstract this system using Artisy Draft and the Unity Dialogue System plugin. Thus far, we've been really happy with both, though we're not yet married to Artisy. We're also looking at Yarn Spinner and some Twine frameworks as other options for our drafting. That said, we're committed to not spending too much time waffling over tooling. We're confident that we can build this game using any of the above. Once the dialogue was in a workable state, we split up for a bit. I set to creating systems for dice rolls in and out of dialogue, as well as the basics of an inventory system. I also got started on a persistent game state for saving and loading. At the same time, Max got to work on creating some early concept art and model and shader prototypes. I'll hand things over to him to tell you a little bit more about that.
Hi there, I'm Max. I'm working on the art and design side of Shades of Haven. I'm really excited to help bring this strange world to life, and I can't wait to share what our inspirations and aesthetics are with you very soon. We are still in early pre-production, figuring out what exactly our art style is going to be, but right now we're just having fun sketching, modeling, and dreaming about what Haven will look like in the future.
Finally, most of our time over the last couple of months was spent dialing in our level pipeline. Shades of Haven, like most of the titles we mentioned, will use pre-rendered backgrounds, and that entails nailing down a few tricky rendering techniques, first among them a beast known as depth compositing. Basically, cross-referencing an exported depth map with the one the game engine generates at runtime to enable a 2D image to pretend to be 3D. Getting this working took a lot of trial and error. Getting depth maps from Blender and Unity to match up, wrapping our heads around UV mapping for the tiles, ensuring physical scale and camera position consistently matched, writing the actual shader lab code for the occlusion shader, and more. Once we managed to get a setup working via manual tweaking, we set to automating the process, building a custom exporter add-on in Blender and some basic utility scripts in Photoshop, so that exporting our tile maps to Unity going forward will be as simple as a few clicks and drags. There are still some optimizations left, and we'll do some longer videos on this process specifically, but suffice it to say, we're really happy with the result. We know these early steps are just the fundamentals of the game, but we feel that they're also major foundational building blocks that we'll lean on heavily throughout development, and finalizing the basics of our level pipeline in particular represents a major milestone for us. So we're really excited about what we've done so far, and we're even more excited about what comes next. Between now and next time, Max will be happily returning to the art grind, and I'll be fiddling with the camera and navigation systems, as well as making a return to some of our existing systems in the hopes of toning down the jank a bit. But that's it for now. If you found any of this interesting, feel free to drop us a like or a sub, it helps a lot, and there's a Discord link in the video description if you want to learn more about the game. Be on the lookout for more videos from us in the coming weeks. We'll be posting some tutorials and technical breakdowns of our processes, but that's it for now. More to come. Bye.